All right, so I finally got my hands on the Note 20, the regular one. The Note 20 Ultra will be coming out later this week. I haven't gotten it yet, but one thing I do want to say about this product is out of everything I've bought on this channel, when I went to go purchase this, I actually got flagged from my credit card company saying that, hey, this is a really large purchase. Are you sure you want to buy this? So it seemed like my credit card company wanted to keep me from buying this product, but I said everything's fine, you can go ahead and buy it. So I thought that was pretty funny. But this is the Mystic Green version. I am in the US, so I have the Snapdragon 865. I'm done talking, so let's go ahead and get this unboxed. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I'm not going to pretend and act like I don't know about all the annoying things, or not the annoying things, all the things that are being said about the Note 20, how it has a plastic back, 60 hertz, 1080p display for $1,000, and I want to keep an open mind before I use it, but I can see where people are coming from. Can I get this out? All right, so SIM ejector that we got up there. We got any stickers like OnePlus? No, we do not. So from my understanding, this is also my very first Note that I have ever had in my life. So from my understanding, what I always thought of from the Note series is that the Note is like the best of what Samsung has to offer. Ooh, I actually like this. So there would be like the S series that would come out, and then there would be the Note. The Note would just be the best. Go ahead and get this plastic off. Which plastic am I talking about? So it looks like it does come with some type of screen protector, or this is just... That was the most satisfying film I've ever taken off any electronic. Okay, so I'll leave this on the desk right here. All right, so we have the super fast charging adapter, and it looks like we have USB-C to USB-C, yup. So for those of you who care about USB-C, there you go. Nothing else in the box, I don't think. No headphones, interesting. Seems that Samsung beat Apple to the punch for leaving stuff out. All right, so now I'm gonna show you guys the product itself. So here we have it. This is the back of the regular 20. So on this side, we have our volume rocker as well as the lock button right here. Then on the bottom, we have our S Pen and USB-C. See if it comes out. Oops, doing this the opposite way. I actually like this. I actually like that. So there appears to be a button on the S Pen, and you can also click it, which is really satisfying. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide this on back in. That sounded really weird. I'm gonna slide it back in. There's nothing on the opposite side. And then on the top, we have our SIM card tray. And I know another thing that people are really upset about is that there's no expandable storage, which is a deal breaker for some people. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this turned on. All right, so while this is booting up, let me go ahead and do a smell test for you guys. Also, it is made in Vietnam, so shout out to the people in Vietnam. It doesn't smell like anything. Yeah, it doesn't smell like anything. So first I want to talk about the look, and I want to say that Samsung definitely nailed the look of the Note 20. Even though this is polycarbonate, it looks like a flagship phone. Like, this is a pretty beautiful device. But I will say, feeling it, it doesn't feel as high quality as a glass back. From the way how I understand the S Pen, oh wow, it's giving me a little, oh, what is this? Air action. What in the world? I'm drawing like a loop-de-loop. Try again, you see this? I don't even know how to do this. Perfect. All right, exit tutorial. I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's like a little dot on the screen that's following me when I get really close. That's pretty cool, I like that. So when I press, oh, All right, so I'm finally past the setup portion of the phone, and now I want to test out the display and speakers real quick. So let's just go to a random country. All right, looks like we are in Bosnia today, guys, and we have an ad. So let's crank up this volume. I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Like, I don't think anyone would be complaining about this display. I'll talk about the display towards the end, but I would say it looks good. No denying that. The speakers are also really loud. I mean, the colors look good. The display looks good, no doubt. But I do have some problems with this display, particularly the price point, which I'll talk about later on in the video. But the display and speakers sound really, really good. So next up, let's do the camera. So selfie first. 1, 2. Why I always count down? I don't need to count down. All right, selfie. I mean, there's a lot that can be said about this photo and me, but I'm not gonna say it. I just wanna say that the front-facing camera, if you're taking selfies, you're not gonna be disappointed. So let's try out the cameras on the back. All right, first off is 1x. Then we have 3 times. Let's go to 30. I mean, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to see anything from that photo. And then ultra wide. So let's look at these photos one by one. So looking at the one-time zoom, I want to say that the plant looks pretty good to me, and the colors are contrasting pretty well. The background is blurred, so that's a nice effect that happens automatically due to the autofocusing. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this photo. And then moving on to 3 times zoom, there's a lot of detail you can see in the soil as well as the plant. I'm also pretty satisfied with this photo as well. And then 30 times zoom, I'm probably just really close. It's only practical to use this when you're trying to capture something at a longer distance. So I basically just got some dirt that was sitting on part of the leaf. And then now moving on to the ultra wide, definitely zooms out, decent portion. So the colors I would say are also still pretty vivid and vibrant. And I would say this is also a pretty good pass for me in terms of the camera setup. So I want to talk about some of the controversies with this phone because I do believe it is getting a ton of hate, and I can understand why, but there are some things that I actually don't understand. And like I said, I didn't want to jump on the internet bandwagon of hating this phone before I actually had it in hand because I wanted to get it and have my own personal experience to see if it's actually deserving of its hate. So let's talk about the back first. The back is the reinforced polycarbonate or plastic, and there's a lot of hate going on with this. And I don't really understand why. I just feel like we've been conditioned in the phone industry that if something is really expensive, that it should have a glass back, stainless steel, curved edges, but I don't think this is really what people should be complaining about, especially if you are like a note enthusiast. This is probably like the least of your worries. And if anything, I would say that some people might prefer this plastic back because you don't have to worry about it cracking. You still get wireless charging, but I think what note enthusiasts are upset about, or at least I would be upset about if I was a note enthusiast, because the way Samsung markets the Note is it's a more productive phone than your regular phone, particularly with the S Pen. And I would say that with this display, the fact that you're just losing so much compared to the Ultra, it feels like you're almost getting robbed in a sense, especially at this price range. The fact that you need to pay extra for the Ultra to get a better user experience with the pen, with the higher refresh rate, I don't really care too much about Quad HD Plus or 1080p. I can tell a difference, but it's not gonna be that big of a deal if I'm, stuck with this phone. I'm gonna be happy with it. But I would think as a person who's using this for productivity that, man, the fact that you have lower latency with the S Pen sucks. And the other factor is, if you're trying to use this as like, a mobile workstation, the fact that you don't have expandable storage to, add on to it is also a really big hit. And it really does seem that this phone feels out of place because it honestly just feels like this phone was made stripped with features so that people just pay for the Ultra because it's objectively the better product for a Note phone. And like I said at the beginning of this video, my thought of what a Note phone is, it's the best of what Samsung has to offer. And this phone doesn't feel like this is the best that Samsung has to offer. It feels like the Ultra is the best one. So it's like, why would Samsung even waste time developing this phone, as hurtful as it sounds to the people that worked on this phone? But it's like, why? If the Note is supposed to be the best phone, why would you even put time and effort into developing this thing? The other thing is, it's the price. This thing's $1,000. When the OnePlus 8 Pro came out, people were really upset on how that phone was $1,000. But now, holding the Note 20, this feels like, why is this thing worth $1,000? Even though it does come with wireless charging, IP rating, in terms of productivity, I keep pulling out this pen. If I was a Note user, I would just be like, for $200 extra, I just get a better user experience with this pen and just the phone overall. I feel like I can actually use this as a mobile workstation. I can actually use this phone in a work environment and be happy with it. So that's another thing that's really confusing me, as well as I also don't understand because, I'm from the US, I use a Snapdragon, or we receive Snapdragon. We don't use Samsung's Exynos. So that's another thing that's really confusing to me, how on the overseas markets that they're getting a slower processor overall. Like, it should just be that, I keep saying this over again, the Note should just be the best of what Samsung has to offer, and this phone doesn't feel like it. But I really just feel like this phone is out of place in general. Now, I'm still gonna do my gotta have it on it, but I would say Samsung, I keep reiterating myself, it just feels out of place. And, the S Pen is the deciding factor for most people. There are some people that get the Note just for this pen. So you're not going to convince them to get like a OnePlus or the S20 because they want this pen. They need this in their, workflow, their day-to-day life. So, my bank tried to stop me. I still went through, but now that I have it in hand, it really just feels like it shouldn't be $1,000. I agree with people on that. The back, I don't really care about. It's more of just the user experience of the S Pen that I think people are getting cheated on when buying this product. But I kind of want to end it on there. I don't want to end it on like a, sad note, but there's nothing I can really say to, hype up this phone. I'm hyped for the Ultra though, I can say that. I'm smiling just talking about it. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. I will say though, now that I have the Galaxy phone, I can pretty much complete my Samsung ecosystem now. So with all that being said, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I'm open to have conversations with you guys in the comments about this phone and Samsung in general, just Android as well. Leave a like or dislike if you want to give me feedback. And as always, guys, much love.